your bases, depending if the Timbersaw is going to be in a side lane or a mid lane. You can either have the Slurk deal with them or some other hero. Could go Monkey King. Yeah, Monkey King wouldn't be bad. Unique do have 20-second pick though, so if they go commit for a Monkey King, then it's possible that Unique might pick something like, I don't know, like Queen of Pain or Death Prophet or some traditional mid to go up against the Monkey King mid. So I think you just pick some ranged core, maybe even like a sniper. No, a sniper wouldn't do well against this Unique draft. Some ranged mid that wouldn't have to deal with Timbersaw, even if Timber is a mid.
Ban the Alchemist, and they go Void Spirit. So Void Spirit will be their mid, Sark safe lane, Axe off lane.
I guess they feel pretty confident that Timber's in the side lane, or maybe they think Void can deal with Timber in the mid lane, which I've never seen that matchup before, so it's possible. I do like the Alchemist ban though, because this draft is so weird. It feels like they're buying time for something, and seeing as how Unique really like their Medusa, an Alchemist would fit into their wheelhouse very, very comfortably. So I'm a strong supporter of that Alch ban. Don't really think you can fit a Spectre into this draft. What other safe lane late game cores are there? Terrorblade?
I just worry that Terrorblade might be, you know, you're so reliant on the Metamorphosis, but Cyber Legacy aren't exactly dealing with high cooldowns here.
Yeah, but I'm anticipating this Weaver is going to be going for the old Aghanim's business. So I don't know. Then again, I should probably be proposing mid lane heroes. I'm kind of assuming that Timbersaw may be going mid, but that may not be the case. So as a mid lane scaling core, you can't pick a Drow Ranger. Troll can't really do much against Slark. Man, I don't know. That was a great Alchemist ban. I think Alchemist was probably the hero that Unique wanted.
Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Fiend's gonna do fine in the lane, but I think Shadow Fiend's gonna like die a lot in the mid to late game because you have three heroes that are very good at chasing him down. The Void Spirit, the Slark, and the Axe are very good at bringing the Shadow Fiend out of position. And BZZ is going to be playing the Timbersaw, so it is going to be a Zitrax Weaver, so hopefully not an Aghanim Scepter Weaver, seeing as how it is a one-position Weaver. But yeah, it will be a Tusk Weaver lane, just in a safe lane position. The thing is that I think Axe is just going to creep skip constantly, so half the power of this Tusk Weaver lane is going to be mitigated by the fact that Axe is probably not going to be playing the lane, actually. So I kind of consider this to be a Cyber Legacy outdraft. I think Team Unique kind of showed their hand a little bit too early with this weird Timbersaw pick.
So we'll have to see if in fact it is the outdraft. Again, I think for both these teams, sometimes it really falls on, even with the drafts being so favorable, the execution. But that comes with the territory of tier, of Division 2. Like, you have these teams that are still growing.
Definitely, which is why I don't put too much stock necessarily into like draft victories, and that's why even like during the mid to late game of game 1 and 2, I'm like, it still looks like a coin flip game, because whatever net worth advantages you see can just like immediately go out the window based off of a few mistakes, which is how these teams grow. I will say that it is going to be kind of hard for Unique to end the game, because none of their team is very good at pushing, at least like hitting towers. And unless if Shadow Fiend goes for like the presence effects, buildings, talent, I feel like Trina Protector is just going to be able to stall out this game for so long that Slark is just going to get gigantic. But we'll see. CIS players will oftentimes just outright skip living armor altogether, and so that they can get more points in Grasp and Leech Seed. So I'm gonna hold my breath until I actually see something happen.
Axe has no time for all this jibber jabber. Are you okay?
On top of which, it just, with this draft, I look at where's the catch for Slark.
Yes, also a great point. You have Tusk Snowball and Rubik Telekinesis, and then maybe a Shadow Fiend Yules at some point. But I'm not a fan of the Yules build this game. I think there is too much stuff that he'll have to be concerned about.
Like, yeah, you've got Telekinesis and Snowball, but early on, at least, it's not going to feel that strong. And the Telekinesis,
which is like
the
also
first few
even
levels isn't great.
30 seconds.
Yeah, so like during the laning phase, like last year was going to be able to get whatever he wants, which whenever you have a Weaver Tusk lane, you'd think that force to be reckoned with, but if you have no catch and you can't really stop this axe from creep cutting, then a big advantage is lost. And Void Spirit manages to successfully get the ward as he drew aggro from a tower, and so he's already has that advantage also for Pikachu.
Begins.
So we'll see how Pikachu does up against this Shadow Fiend. You know, this is just the Shadow Fiend not coming in with any Cog Souls or anything extra. We'll see how he does. He's got 2 shared Tangos, a couple of Mangoes. And he goes into the raises level 1.
They're going for a slight lane swap. Palantimos showed himself at that top bounty rune, and I think he saw the Tusk, and now he sees that a Weaver's showing up top, and wisely he has bypassed the lane altogether. Instead, Treant Protector kind of bumbles his way down here, but he walks into a Rubik and he's like, oh Jesus, it's a tri-lane.
Oh my god, Big Gnome. Jesus. Just getting
Okay,
run
he died
down
for the
hard in that
cards.
tri-lane.
I don't know how long Rubik will stick around here. Yeah, he's already
leaving.
leaving.
Usually the case, you get like a 3-1-1 to start first blood, or attempting a first blood. If you don't get it, you just go. You don't stick around too much. Plantimo's already taken a lot of damage.
Happy Durara donates his salved. So, because it's in this offlane configuration, Last Hero can't really cut the wave as conveniently, because there's less space for him to do so. So, props to Unique for going for this decision. As a result, Last Hero may actually have to like play the lane properly. But it will be a dual lane, so with a Treant Protector, he should feel still kind of safe, even if he has to play the lane actually.
So far, Pikachu doing a decent job here up against 19. Not even an experience, and is that last mango? Yeah, that is last mango for this Shadow Fiend. Gets one delivered though. With 19 going into the bottle as well as the Void Spirit, I would assume that supports are going to come towards mid, towards the 4-minute mark.
Yeah,
It's
I
usually
think
the
that's a pretty
case.
safe bet. Neither of these heroes can really push out the wave quickly enough, especially with all the ice shards on top. Last
Yeah,
hero.
last hero getting chased. One more shot will be there for Zitrax. Big Gnome, nothing he can do taking the Nature's Grasp level 1. And we're already in on that, and this is a lane that is gotten itself 2 kills. So a good start overall for Team Unique.
I wonder if he TP's back. I honestly wonder if it's worth Last Hero's effort to just like straight up cut the wave between tier 2 and tier 3, because I don't think it's like him playing the lane is not really gonna do very much. He's not gonna get anything more, and if he just, I don't know, maybe once he completes boots, then maybe he'll do it. But for right now, like I don't think that he should play the lane. It's way too difficult of a lane, and Treant Protector could get more done just constantly pulling and stacking and getting experience that way.
Denied.
So Axe sending out boots on the courier. We'll see if that changes how he plays things.
And once it gets to him, we'll see how that ultimately finishes off for him. Meanwhile, over bottom, Plantimos at 14-2 to the Timbers 18-4. BZZ having an okay time. Maybe not the best lane here right now for this Sark.
Yeah, wow, BZZ actually taking 2 points in chain, 0 points in reactive armor. So he's trying to go aggressive on this Slurk, which is an interesting approach.
Certainly a different approach as over top, Bignum now getting chased by Zitrax. Nature's Grasp is down. Courier nearby too. Shikuchi over on top of the tree, but behind the tier 2 tower, and I don't think Zitrax is going to go any further. At least for now, that leaves last hero to continue farming. Hit up too
Weaver's
hard.
a fast hero though. And he has a DD rune on this, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, tag team, call. Not bad, we'll pull them in. Shards end up missing, so Axe shall stay alive, but bottom again, Illusion taking some damage as he's just eating Stroke of Fates from this Grimstroke.
Oh my god, mid lane. Pikachu gets the kill on Shadow Fiend. Holy crap. He wasn't even level 6. He got level 6 off that kill. Wow.
I was truthfully not expecting that to happen as I was looking over bottom, but call now on a Van score at the 5-minute bounty runes. They'll chase. They've got shards. TP out. Nothing to stop that, and that goes back to that lack of control.
Now that Pikachu's hit level 6, he could just continue abusing this this Shadow Fiend under his own tower. He's kind of low on mana though, but once he fills up his bottle with his bounty rune, we could see back-to-back kills. 19 needs to be like really fast at pushing this wave out so he doesn't stay vulnerable.
Thing is, does the Void Spirit stay mid, or does he now, with that Astral Step, maybe make some moves over, potentially towards top too?
I don't think that they, because Cyber Legacy also kind of lack control, at least before you have any setup. Oh, last hero.
Shards, tag team, there's the call. Spins once, Nature's Grasp is down. Last hero taking a lot of damage though, and he's trying to get behind this tier 1 tower, which he will. However, he does end up falling, and Zitrax stays just alive as Bignum doesn't have anything to give him. Doesn't have a right click, doesn't have Nature's Grasp, nothing he can do. He'll just continue to use that living armor.
I mean, as nice as Call is against Tag Team, it only lasts for 2 seconds, and Tag Team lasts for 5 seconds. So you get a bunch of bonus armor for like the initial part as, yeah, Shadow Fiend dies again. I wasn't looking, but that's what'll happen if you give up level 6 against a Void Spirit like that. But yeah, like I'm really confused why last hero was just like playing the lane, because this is just gonna keep happening over and over again. Like at most, at least like go jungle, which he's looking for jungle camps, but Treant Protector is also kind of jungling and stacking actually. Really good both
Decent
stacks.
stack to grab for last hero.
Big plays.
And he's going into the phase boots. First item for the axe. He's got those finished off. 19's back. No double Astral Step just yet, but we've just seen, or well, technically we haven't, but I've seen 19 die twice.
We can guess what happened.
Happy Durara on the run from BZZ, Stroke of Fate, but eventually the time will come where you'll lose your life and nothing you can do with Timbersaw right on top of you. So Diffusal Blade first for the Weaver with the BKB, giving us a glance into what he's going to be doing with this build for the 1 position Weaver. Luckily, I would say, honestly, truthfully, I'm happy that he's not going into this Ags, and we're watching Vanscore just get run down. Nature's Grasp was in, and that was a fight that Tusk brought to the Axe, and Axe ends up winning.
I mean, he saw Axe jungling, and he was like, no, you can't get farm. My whole purpose in my life is to stop you from getting farm, but without the Weaver, he's not nearly as intimidating, so yeah, he goes down. And I'm with you. I'm a strong supporter of this Weaver build. Even though this is the kind of game where I think a Timbersaw could benefit from an Ags, as actually the Shadow Fiend
made the rotation. And the Inkswell was there, but 3 heroes around the Grimstroke. Nobody going to help as Blantimos will continue to just farm. Timber Chain, now some damage on the BZZ, but with the Chakram right on top of him, he'll pounce away.
Yeah, Slark's level 6, so he can just go hit and run.
And score spots last hero. He doesn't
19
have
shows
snowball,
up.
but okay.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to soak the experience. He plays his award, so at least he can keep track of the camps that last hero is forming. And now Shadow Fiend actually rotating to the jungle.
And they're going to make this move. They've got shards. Can they get the kill? Nicely placed with the tag team call comes in. The last hero eventually dies to the Shadow Fiend. And that is now the third time that Axe has died. On top of which 19 picks up an Iron Talent.
With props to 19, like the lane is unplayable at this point, so he's just not going mid. He goes bot, he gets a kill on the Grimstroke, probably not what he was hoping for, but still better than nothing, and then immediately shows up mid, grabs a wave, and then starts ganking top. So 19 is recovering quite well. And wow, what the hell? Actually rushing BOTs. So this is not just a laning phase kind of idea. This is the way that he's planning on playing this entire game. There's now smoke towards the bot lane.
They're going to try and go in onto the Timber Saw. They've got the Ink Swell, so they'll stay right on top of BZZ. Pikachu Astral Step gets the kill onto this Timber. Looks for more. Dissimulate. A lot of damage being done to Illusion. They've got the Pounce, and they'll get the kill. Pikachu with an easy double. And that's what I was kind of expecting. Maybe a little bit earlier, but that's just my thoughts on Void Spirit. However, he does come in and get 2 kills anyway. Aether Remnant, Snowball, and why? Look at this. Pikachu sets up. Yeah,
nice.
Right on the Aether Remnant. Pikachu does take a little bit of damage from the Shukuchi. They've got the Nature's Grass down. Pikachu now with 3 kills, 2 in one lane, 1 in the other. He is moving around the map very well.
And they're going
And
back
Z-Trax?
on BZZ.
And BZZ bottom, they'll go get the Ink Swell. Stroke of Fate lands. They're also rotating over a +1 in the Rubik.
If they had landed that call, that would have been another kill. Back-to-back kills on the Timbersaw would have been amazing, but a little bit too slow on the take, and he gets out. Yeah, I think the main reason why Void Spirit wasn't moving around is because he would have preferred to just kill the Shadow Fiend over and over again mid. But then 19 started moving around, and Pikachu was like, well, this is not what I was expecting. So at that point, he was like, all right, well, whatever. If he's going to keep rotating around, if he's never going to show up mid, then I might as well rotate. And then whenever he starts rotating, 19's like, sweet, free mid lane. I'll take your tier 1 tower. So 19's playing this very, very well so far. I'm very impressed.
Meanwhile,
Now they get a
over
Walrus
towards
punch on
top. Big Gnome. Can he TP out? Yes, he can.
Oh.
Little overgrowth action.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was,
Trying to keep the tier 1 tower alive still. Zitrax, they're glyphing it, and Void Spirit's showing up.
Z-Trax under the
Now
tower.
you got 3
staying
points of
close.
living armor.
Astral Step double gets the stun, but the Aether Remnant actually pulls in the Tusk, so they'll get themselves potentially 1 kill. Soulbind doesn't attach to anybody. He's got the Snowball. Now it connects. So Snowball comes over. Happy to Rada will lose his life. Van Score will fall. Aether Remnant on a Zitrax, who does have the time lapse, so he'll run. But the heal onto Pikachu should be enough to
Resonant
keep
Pulse.
him okay. Big Gnome comes over, doesn't have overgrowth. Once again, telekinesis up and down, steals the Resonant Pulse.
Well, they successfully keep the tower alive, and now Big Gnome, yeah, he'll start healing it up, so... I'm sure he's very disappointed. He lost his mid-tier 1 tower super quickly, but he's being able to maintain control of this top tier 1 tower, assuming that they don't continue the aggression, which Zitrax is more than willing to do. And it does indeed look like Yule's is going to be the build of choice for Shadow Fiend. He had the BOTs queued up, but it seems like he has gone for the Yules instead.
Or not, they're
wow,
going to take this
Spark
tier 1.
guys.
Top tower has fallen.
Whoa.
And he dies bottom to just the Timber as well as the Tusk, so apparently Snowball Walrus Punch with the Timber Saw is enough damage to kill off Palantimos.
Yeah, it's a lot of ground targeted damage coming from the BZZ Timber Saw, so even he does manage to get the Shadow Dance off in time, he'll still die to the rest of it, so solid pick. I'm very curious to see what 19 can do with this Yules, because I anticipated it being, like, he will try to get some kills early on, but then Axe will get a Blink Dagger, which last year was getting very, very close to a Blink Dagger. But they scan him, and if they can get the kill, then that would be great.
Still within the scan,
He's
coming over his
leaving.
Van Score. There's the Snowball. Shards locks him in. Aether Remnant down. That'll pull in the Tusk, but it won't save the life of last hero. That is unfortunate. That sets him back a bit. Still close to the Blink Dagger, though.
Yeah, they need to get as much done with his Yules as possible before Axe really comes online. Because Pikachu already has his Yules, as we see him set up on the Weaver.
Doesn't get anything from it, though. Bignum's the one going into the Spirit Vessel. You've got Slark, who... Look at how far back Palantimos is. I didn't realize how underfarmed he was.
Got it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I was not anticipating this Timbersaw lane to go so badly for the Slark. Rubik is a reasonably good support in this situation just because Fadebolt does so much burst damage that like a Slark can't really play as dangerously as he likes to play in the lane. Because usually you just like, it's a 0-point reactive armor Timbersaw, you just right click him for days and stack up those essence shifts, but couldn't really do that with a Rubik. And now last hero has completed his Blink Dagger and they're going to smoke up. They have to be content with a Rubik kill.
And they'll find Illusion, but a good telekinesis stuns up 3 won't matter most likely, but the Dissimilate onto the high ground. Now the Blink. Last hero, Culling Blade. Soulbind connects up the Weaver as well as the Tusk. The Inkswell pops and does actually hit on his Atrax, but look at this. The Chakram, last hero, nowhere he can go. He just ends up dead, and he blinked to the high ground to kill off the Rubik. Will end up losing his own life.
Dude, Illusion is playing so good. he was probably hoping to steal Astral Step, not Dissimilate, but he steals Dissimilate. He's like, what do I do? All right, I'll just go to this high ground. And as it is, like, he stalled out the fight long enough that Pikachu had to spend both Astral Steps also, both charges, so he couldn't re-engage once the Axe jumped up to the high ground to follow the Rubik up. And he's just stuck up there. Overgrowth comes out, but the rest of the team is not really willing to fight around it. And now Bignum is revealing himself underneath this ward, which he has no idea.
He's on the run, feeling the pressure.
All the way through.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, they probably should have waited until Vance Score was able to get in position
with the Requiem and the raises.
Wow.
Ooh, 19 getting the kill on a Palantimos, who still continues to struggle in this game, while 19, who had an amazing Nature's Prophet game in game 2, now showing up again in game 3.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, they see Tusk again.
Yeah.
This time they'll get him.
Spot Tramp. Finally, he pings up the ward. Although I would say he probably knows that ward is there due to the fact that he was getting chased with a lot of accuracy previously. Meanwhile, Diffusal on the last hero gets the call out onto the Timber, doing a decent chunk of damage onto BZZ. But with 2 heroes here, they'll claim last hero's life. And
Pikachu.
Too far.
Double raise. Oh, he doesn't have Requiem, so.
Aether Remnant. But there's the Yules, they'll have the shards. Pikachu waited for this. Now he'll Astral Step onto the low ground.
Radiant's courier has been
And Zitrax, ooh.
Oh, did it die? It died to the counter helix from the illusion? That's rough. Unique are playing, like, this is like the best Dota I've seen them play all series. I don't know why they just don't play more early game strats like this, because they're doing very, very well with it. Maybe they were thinking that they need to improve their late game, and that's why they were drafting the Medusa over and over again, because right now they're playing really, really well. They've hit their timings, they're pressuring against this Treant Protector, they keep killing the Slark with minimal investment, and it's working very, very smoothly for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still, though, with it going as well as it is, it's only a 2,000 net worth lead. You know, that is due in part to the fact that Bignum is out farming the Rubik, but
bottom tower is under attack.
Surprised that it's only a 2,000 net worth split otherwise.
Yeah, but it's like it's very top heavy as like, Bignum, he's dead again.
He's in a lot of trouble. Snowball comes in, Walrus Punch, gives him the old Mike Tyson, and just finishes him off.
Like it's only 3K, but like you see, Tusk is the poorest hero in the game by 400 gold. All the important net worth is on the cores of Unique, and so it's like this is the stage of the game that you want this net worth to be very lopsided like this, because all these major items are being completed as opposed to like a bunch of useless items like bracers on your supports and stuff like that. So Blink Dagger Yule's now online and BOTs for 19's Shadow Fiend. Diffusal Blade, as we saw earlier, is completed on Zitrax. He's going to be pushing out mid with the rest of his team. BZZ's got a full hood completed, working his way to the pipe, and they're just systematically taking these towers.
Even with the Treant. Just not enough.
Oh, speaking of
Well,
which...
again, Big Gnome call with the overgrowth, but the Chakram will be there. BZZ will help to finish off Big Gnome. Last hero gets back to the high ground. This is not really going well for them. They've got the Diffusal on the Pikachu, who is on the run. He's got Yules and the 2 Astral Steps available, but 19, he comes through looking for the Requiem. The Aether Remnant was placed down to the point where Shadow Fiend stops the Requiem, backs off, Soulbind connects the two. They're going in 2 different directions, and nobody can decide which way to go. It won't matter as they kill off the Grimstroke, but they could have gotten much more out of that. The
They may
lead starts
still.
to extend,
Pikachu
too.
is lingering.
You can't exactly get this kill, and
Whoa,
Requiem's
19.
still available for 19. However, there's the call onto the Shadow Fiend to simulate. They just don't have the damage. They'll look for the Requiem. They stop it again. Oh, they found the Slark.
Oh, Slark.
Now the Requiem, that flies in, goes immediately into the ulti. And that is a Requiem now to just disengage.
Yeah, but now he's just gonna BOT top and start pushing that out like crazy, while the rest of Dire is trying to get some exit kills. So, man, like I'm amazed at this Shadow Fiend with this Yules. This is a very squishy Shadow Fiend in theory, because in Disable they have the Yules on the Void Spirit. They've got Blink Call on Axe. They've obviously got the Aether Remnant afterwards. They've got Soulbind, Overgrowth, Leash, and somehow, out of all of that, 19 has only died twice. And he sees Big Gnome yet again in his top lane, trying to score a triple raise on him. And in mid lane, they see Pikachu.
And they've got him surrounded. Snowball coming in. Yules stays alive for a moment. There's the silence, but not in time as the Walrus Punch hits. Pikachu, Aether Remnant onto the Timbersaw. Shards gets him to simulate. And he will just leave. At least for now.
It could go for Roche. Shadow Fiend's moving towards the pit. Zitrax does not have a medallion. There is no medallion, but they're just going to brute force it. There's no way that Dire could really challenge this. Where was this unique in game 1 and game 2? They're playing so flowchart, and it's working out for them consistently. Which maybe their flowchart was like that in game 1. It's just like our flowchart is Medusa gets gigantic, and it kind of worked. In both games, technically Medusa did get gigantic, but then in game 1 she got too big for her own britches and fed a rapier or two.
When you feed a rapier or 2, you're probably not going to win that game. But like you said, yeah, he got there. I think they, completed their game plan. Or, well,
Yeah.
4 out of 5 parts of it, of course.
Right. It was that last push, though.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, overall, like, throughout the entirety of this series, I will concede that Unique have looked like the better team. Because for some reason, Cyber Legacy are just, like, they never push their advantage. Or they never have an advantage, for one thing.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
No, Slark. Last hero's gonna
Once
intercept
again,
it.
They've got the call, though, onto the Shadow Fiend. There's the pounce as well as the leash. The Requiem is in death and not used. But they've got themselves
nice.
the Stolen
Aether
Aether
Remnant
Remnant. Plantimos into the Shadow Dance.
He's out.
The TP out.
Axe may not be quite as lucky. The bugs will not spot him. Ooh, that was close. Alright, nice work. The Axe babysitting the Slark, knowing that Palantimos has had some questionable positioning this game and last game, and so he would obviously be bait for the Shadow Fiend, and it pays off. They get a turnaround kill. Wasn't the Aegis, though. The Aegis is on the Weaver, so it's just a pick off at best.
Yeah, still, though, to get that kill while the Aegis is in the hands of Team Unique, not the worst thing in the world. And had they lost this arc there, I think the push comes in pretty heavy from
Dire's
Unique.
bottom tower is under attack.
They smoke. Cyber Legacy They'll go into the jungle on the opposite side of the river.
Are fortified.
My question is this just a
SF?
warding smoke, or are they going to try for something over mid? SF's there. They've got the blink as well as the call. They'll set up. Now the blade mails pop. Silent. Snowball save. Van score on it. Throws the shards out. That gets onto Palantimos. Now the snowball all the way over on the last hero. They find themselves a kill onto the Tusk. Zitrak's thinking about coming over, and he will go in onto this. PCC moves forward. The Soulbind hits onto the Weaver as well as the Shadow Fiend. Pikachu getting low. Dissimilate onto the high ground. Gets away, but just for a moment because PCC is here with the Yules. They've locked him down. Can they get the kill? The Resonant Pulse the Yules once again, and they will finish him off. Last hero now trying to TP away, but the damage just not enough. Unique. They come out ahead on that one as they just lose Van score, but they take out the Void Spirit.
That was a great call by both teams. First, great call to go for that smoke by Cyber Legacy, because they know that Shadow Fiend, even though he has BOTs, he needs to gather up souls first. So they kind of went in between the top lane and the mid lane. They see that SF TP is mid, and they're like, all right, sweet, let's just pick up 2 back-to-back kills. And then Van Score's like, why is no one defending this bot tier 1 tower? I'm gonna go mid and make sure nothing bad happens. And it was a good read. He immediately gets there whenever Shadow Fiend starts getting gone on, saves him. SF snowballs in kind of deep, but then is able to blink out, and they just win the fight afterwards.
Now the smoke from
Still
Team
have
Unique.
1.5 minutes left on this Aegis, so they're looking to do something with it. And yeah, maybe the smoke will lead them into a Slark. Whoa.
Plantimos, Snowball, pounds to get some distance, but the shards are perfect from Van score.
Whoa.
Last hero, he gets spotted, and now a lot of trouble for him. He'll get the call, Blade Mail off, but it won't matter. Walrus Punch is there, as well as the damage from the rest of the team. Unique getting in another kill. BCZ on this Timber. Thought it might end up being a hard lane for him and potentially a hard game for him, but he's shown up huge, 5-1-6.
Yeah, this Slark is just like never getting back into the game at this rate. He's having to go for a BKB after this Diffusal Blade Echo Saber, which always feels very, very unpleasant. Because, like, we were even talking about, like, oh, there's not that much catch on the side of Unique. And yet he still feels like he has to get a BKB. So that just, like, goes to show how far behind Palantimos is this game.
Look at the Axe's net worth, too. You compare that to BZZ. He's getting his net
know.
worth doubled. Axe just can't really do anything. And that started from the laning phase where all of a sudden he's in this lane where he can't really creep cut. He can't really play the lane maybe the way he thought he would going out of that draft. And it's just become a problem for him because he really hasn't gotten anything started. He's 3-7-2, and his net worth is abysmal.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A big part of it is the fact that they have just gotten, like, no towers. They've gotten one Radiant Tier 1 bot. And other than that, they've gotten no other objectives. Which usually you'd say is the team that has the Treant Protector, but no, it's the other way around. The team that does not have the Treant Protector has somehow maintained control of all of their outer towers. And so there's a lot of net worth that is yet to be claimed on the map. It's just that, yet again, Cyber Legacy are just, like, not being able to cross the map.
To get themselves the Paladin Sword. Although, they don't have to go for it. Palantimos again, he is far forward. Shards don't block him in this time. They've got themselves the Astral Step as well as the Overgrowth. That's big. Can they turn this around? Maybe do something for the first time on Cyber Legacy, but the Weaver gets the time lapse off. He'll survive. Van Score, Walrus Punch out on a Palantimos. Van Score finally dies. The blink forward looking for the Requiem. 19 blows it out here, but not enough damage just yet. Pikachu finally falls. 19, his BKB is about to end, but Palantimos on the run from 4 heroes.
Leash.
And, oh gosh, Illusion with his own pounce gets the leash onto the Slark, takes out last hero, and it does work out for Unique.
Oh, they have a Yules on Timbersaw. They could just keep chasing on this Grimstroke, and they will. They get the slow.
Gosh, Grimstroke.
Oh, wow. they
Two-man
get
stun,
on
but the
both.
raise?
Whoa.
Yeah, second one will be there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That is the BKB debuts 10 seconds from the Weaver and the Shadow Fiend, and what a way to have it come off. That Zitrak's Weaver was so close to dying, but just narrowly was able to get that time lapse off, and now they may be able to pick up Big Nump's Treant Protector as well.
And this might just be the beginning of the end, it feels like.
What was Zitrak? So you need to be kind of careful. I think they literally just glyphed for the multi-shot, but it does not end up getting them any casualties. And it will drive back the creep wave also, so it will discourage the high ground push, but wow, yeah, that went from bad to worse. 14k. I don't think there's been like a single point in this entire series that Cyber Legacy have had a net worth advantage. I think all 3 games, Unique have just consistently been on Cyber Legacy's side of the map, had the net worth lead the majority of the time, and yeah, Cyber Legacy just never really get to like dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah, it's like in fighting when you're just a counter striker. You have to eat all those punches to be a counter striker. Yeah. It did work in game 1. They countered the bottom push, and they won. But now it's like they can't counter at all.
Yeah, I don't think there are any big item pickups that are really going to change anything too much. Slark has completed the BKB. He had used it earlier. It's down to 9 seconds. But I still think that there's just, like, he cannot solo carry this. And Void Spirit, the Aghanims is basically useless right now because the BKBs are online for the cores. Right now, I mean, the most valuable thing would be able to silence the Weaver. But he has the BKB, so you can't really stop him from doing anything. Timbersaw has a Yules, so he can take off the silence, which is, it's not even really worth taking off the silence. And the Tusk is probably, oh wow, Vanscore is actually very close to, okay, Vanscore has a Blink Dagger, assuming he doesn't throw his life away mid. Okay, well he bought the Blink Dagger, so he has it anyway. It's tactical. See, he died, and they'll be like, oh look, he just died. There's no way he has a Blink Dagger completed now.
I'll get that Blink Dagger, and maybe it'll fool Cyber Legacy to come across the river for what seems to be the first time.
Yeah. And they will actually get the outpost, so good timing.
Surprisingly, though, they only get one. This one up top is still in the Radiant's hands, and this is something that we've seen a couple times in these games, where it's just the opposite outpost are the one that you're controlling.
Yeah, but this one's way more favorable whenever Roche is on the table, which is a very, very late Roche respawn. Won't be back for a while, so this kind of favors Dire, buys them more time to get this Slark back into the game.
Ghost Scepter for last hero.
Yeah, it always feels bad when you need to buy that in as an axe. Usually you're just like, I have so much armor. I would never need to worry about right clicks. But if you are the same net worth as the enemy 4 position, I think you kind of need it. Oh, and if you're dead, you may also kind of need it.
Yeah, there's the blink shown off there from Vanscore. They've got themselves the Walrus Punch, and they steal the call. Illusion, he's got a Blink Dagger, so all of a sudden we can see a good Blink call coming in from Rubik.
Oh man, Rubik's got a telescope also. He can blink from like 10 million miles away. But they're just gonna wait until Roche respawns. 1 more minute, which will be enough time for Axe to respawn. Oh my god, Scythe for Timbersaw? Jeez, BZZ is gigantic.
Yeah, he's really had such an a game where he has excelled in.
Who did he play in game 2? I know he played the DK in game 1.
What did he play?
Sorry, don't mean to put you on the spot like that.
Illusion looking for the call. Well, there was the
he played Void Spirit.
And then, yeah, okay, so that's why I couldn't get it right. Not usually an particularly.
Yeah, and he did not have like a particularly memorable performance on that, so this is definitely his best game in the series. He did so well against the Slarkin lane and managed to get this kind of farm against a team that's like, I mean, his team's pretty greedy. The Weaver is very mobile, he can find farm all over the map. Shadow Fiend went BOT, so he's probably getting farm all over the map. But Shadow Fiend also has a Scythe of Vice, and he's almost level 25 for the cooldown reduction talent. My god, this is going to be a really hard game for Cyber Legacy. If I were them, I would just wait until SF gets level 25 after getting this Aegis, and then just come into the next fight. Which I just, like, completely unbeatable.
Good scan. They go out of the Roche pit. Roche follows for just a moment. Bignum's got a blink dagger, so we can start this off with the blink overgrowth. Maybe they can find something more, but Zitrax in here. They've gotten themselves the Hex as well as the Chakram. They look over as the Requiem's coming from the side. They look over the Void Spirit, Stroke of Fate through, but it's not going to do anything. 19 gets the kill on the Pikachu now with the Walrus Crunch on the last hero. This Axe is in a lot of trouble to chase over the Grimstroke. They'll get the kill there. That's 2 heroes gone without buyback. They find themselves the Axe. They'll make it a third. He's got buyback, but it's really not worth using because the rest of the team is going to end up dead anyway. The call from this Rubik onto the Sark. Rubik survives and Sark ends up dead. He doesn't have buyback either, so this is now Roche into the hands of Team Unique quite easily.
Yeah, and that's just that much closer to level 25 for Shadow Fiend. The nerves of steel. He didn't even activate BKB on 19, and he just spider-legged past the Slark with the Yules. Another blink call from Illusion. Dude,
Illusion. A better Axe than the Axe. Zitrax kills off Bignum. That ends up being a full team wipe. And Team Unique looking towards the end of the game.
I think Illusion's my my support MVP of the series, because both Game 2 and Game 3, his Rubik performance has been phenomenal. He's just been superior forms of all of his enemy heroes consistently. And this game's looking pretty over at this point. SF's level 25, Aegis is on the Weaver, Cheese is on the Shadow Fiend.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's top tower is under
So now that Hex on a 15-second cooldown.
Yeah. Spider legs on a 7-second cooldown.
Guess they'll give it one more try here for the side of the Dire. They'll look over. Treant moving forward. He does have overgrowth, but shards come in. So he's looking for the blink as well as the overgrowth to maybe start this off, but Zitrax finds Palantimos. Palantimos forced to pounce away as they continue to go for this top set of racks. Really hard here. Good ward from Vanscore.
Oh,
Hex
the
comes
instant
in,
Hex.
telekinesis, and now last hero, he ends up dead. The Soul Line comes in onto the Shadow Fiend as well as the Weaver. They look towards the back lines to go for Vanscore as well as Illusion, but Illusion as well as the Tusk doing work. Requiem flies in. They get the kill on Illusion. They finally take out the Rubik. Palantimos backing off. The BKB's been popped by Pikachu. Looks over BCZ as well as Vanscore. 19 moving forward. They've got the call on the Weaver. They'll get the Culling Blade to take out the Aegis. BZZ, Timber Chain across the bow of last hero as well as Palantimos. Palantimos has now been hexed once again. They've got Zitrax back into the fight. The damage is too much for the Slark to handle. He'll end up dead. 85 seconds on the sideline. And that is a good job from Team Unique to take out this Slark once again.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
They did spend all their resources though, so the Cheese was eaten by 19, I believe. Yeah, and Zitrax's Aegis is gone, but he still has his BKB.
Oh, blink call only hits onto the Weaver, but you lose the Void Spirit. Pikachu dead. Last hero looking like he's next, and honestly, the game and the series looking like it's in the hands of Team Unique. Yes, it will be. And Team Unique, 2-1 the reverse sweep over Cyber Legacy, and all 3 games certainly looked pretty good for them.
Game 1 was down to them basically clumsily giving up a rapier